We're professionals.
We take it very seriously.
Mario, thank you for joining us, man. So this is our YouTube channel. We're recording for our YouTube channel, Agile Talk. And I
Nice.
came home from Austin all fired up, talking to him about the game that you introduced to us over there that we played. We were going to play for an hour and we ended up playing for 2 hours. And like, there were some of us that were like, why are we stopping? Let's keep going.
Yeah. I want to play Spring 3.
So I let these guys know, and I was very passionate about the purpose behind the game and the actual game mechanics, and like just looking at it like this is an incredibly powerful tool for training, for teaching, for mentoring, and it's fun. And as I thought about it, I was like, man, I'd love to be able to bring you on, give you an opportunity for our audience, describe the game. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and like describe the game, and then we can go into like the mechanics and all that other stuff. So
I've been working with Scrum for quite a long time. So I own a small software development company here in Brazil. And when I first started, 2008, I had a lot of problems, especially with my customers. And I searched for a CSM class so I could learn different ways to work. And it actually helped my company to grow a lot, and we had a better relationship with our customers. So I became passionate about Scrum and Agile, and I became also a CSD trainer. So since 2013, I've been training in Scrum, mostly the technical course, the CSD, for the development team, right? Mm-hmm. And it's been like 6 years now. And for the last 2 or 3 years, maybe, I've been also giving some Scrum training, like some basic Scrum trainings, like a CSM class without the C, right? Just the CSM class. And now I'm on my path to become a CST. I think I've gathered enough experience through this whole journey. And I'm trying to reach the next step, which feels kind of natural for me. And during my training sessions, I felt that one thing that is quite difficult to have is you have like a lot of people, some of them never heard about Scrum, never actually saw it working. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to find a way to create a better simulation. I mean, there are a lot of simulations right now. People come up with a lot of things like the legal city simulations and stuff. For me, legal has a personal problem. I live in Brazil and I give most of my trainings in Portugal and in Europe. And traveling around with a lot of legal blocks, it's quite hard, right? Mm-hmm. So I created this game. I thought about a card game. I'm also passionate about board games and card games. And then I give it a try. It's actually the third version, the version we tried at the Scrum Gathering. And I felt that I was able to simulate the reality of a Scrum team in a playful way, in a way that everybody in there had a lot of fun. They ended up hating me, which is... but they got to learn a lot about the dynamics that happens inside a Scrum team, right? The objective, the main goal of the game is provoking high-level discussions about real-life problems we have while developing software and while dealing with people daily, right?
I do want to jump on that comment though, Mario, because just to kind of add some color to it, the game does accomplish that. I mean, when we were sitting there, it was like 6 or 7 of us, and we were literally like a Scrum team, collaborate. Like, how are you going to tackle this? And maybe we should go after this story first. But the funniest thing was when we first started to play, we treated it like a real board game. We were going counterclockwise. Yeah. Our first sprint was counterclockwise. Our first day in the sprint, counterclockwise. And Mario, as a very astute observer and playing almost like the coach role, he let us go through the day like that and asked, "Why are you guys doing that pattern?"
Yeah. I mean, that's something that always happens. I think that in all sessions I've run, the the first day is always like a board game, because the cards they kind of give you the feeling that you're actually playing a game. So you play like other games you're used to play, right? And that's the one thing that I made on purpose, because the rules. The hardest part about the game is establishing the rules. That's why I actually didn't establish very hard rules. The rules are kind of loose rules.
Like Agile. Yeah.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, the players, they need to self-organize in order to find which is the best way for the team to achieve its goals, right? And playing counterclockwise is, I mean, it's probably not the best way to do it, but it's the first way that everyone does it during the first play.
So to help our audience that is watching this, can you describe the game itself? So I've heard like there is a board. I've heard there is some sort of rotation somewhere. Can you describe more about the game, how it's played, what's involved in this?
Sure, Richard. Actually, I have those cards with me. The game contains mostly cards. Actually, just cards. And we have 5 types of cards. So we have the feature cards, which you can see in there.
Yep.
The size cards. The business value cards. The work cards. And the feedback cards.
Okay.
So the game plays like this. We use the future cards to create a product backlog. So we have like each card is a product backlog item, and we have like many features in there.
Oh, okay, all right.
And the product owner is the one responsible to uncover this feature. So he does a little bit of product discovery during the game. A feature may be associated with a size and a business value.
Wow.
So we have like an ROI, right, for this feature, and that's mostly how the teams prioritize their backlog. Once again, I don't establish any rules about you can only work on an item that has a business value and the size established. If I remember well, during the session that Charles played, we did it mostly like this, right? But there was a discussion about, can we accept an item that hasn't been estimated yet? And they asked me about it. Hey, Mario, what's the rule? And I told them, okay, you're the developer. How do you feel about it? Are you comfortable? I think it's the best option. And then we have this kind of discussion. So the main objective of the game is mostly provoke this kind of discussions by introducing real life situations during this dynamics that happens between the players, right? So after the product backlog is established, the team does a little sprint planning. So the team selects like which features are going to into the sprint, and if they deliver a feature by the end of the sprint, they might receive a feedback card, and the feedback card actually changes the business value of the features in the product backlog. So it might say, for example, okay, the customer just received a new version of your program, and now he just told me that this gamification thing is awesome, and everything now it's the value. So the product owner must reprioritize the product backlog because of this feedback, right? And that's the main ideas I'm trying to conceive for this game. Actually, there are 3 main ideas: the feedback, the workflow, and the prioritization. When I created the game, I wanted people to just learn these 3 things and see like how different they are from the way they usually work, like I don't know, some waterfall manner to deal with the project, right? And then again, it's Scrum. So after the review, we can do some retrospective and talk about how the sprint went and start sprint 2 again. And the more sprints people play, the more they hate me.
So you mentioned about how the game started. We got a backlog going, and then you got about somewhere along the line. Is there something that you do to say the feature is done before we get to review? Is there
Yeah.
like a dice that you throw or something you do to say it's complete?
Yeah, so Richard, each feature must have a size to be done. So for example, this one is 21, right?
Right.
The developer team, they draw cards like this, the work cards.
Oh,
The
okay.
work cards, you have like this one, which is a one. So if someone plays in there, there's 20 points of work remaining, right?
That's right.
And when they work through it all, the feature is done.
Okay.
Okay, and the business value is then delivered to the customer.
Okay.
By delivering one feature, the product owner can now gather feedback, and it will change the prioritization. The bad thing is, whenever a developer draws a card, and Charles knows it very well, he might come up with some orange cards like this one is an impediment and the Scrum Master must remove it.
Ah, nice.
Or
Nice.
the most common one and the most real life one, the bug,
Yeah.
which gets into the way of our planning, right? We plan to do something and then something more urgent just come up, and it really happens in real life. So that's the kind of feeling I was trying to replicate. So sometimes, most of times, the plans doesn't work. It's good to do the planning, but the plans must change most of the times, and that's what happens in the game.
So do you do you simulate number of days in a sprint?
Yeah,
When
there are
they
5
so
days.
each day you draw a card.
Yeah, actually, each person has 2 actions. Okay, so and each day, each day each member has 2 actions per day. That's it. So for the actions, it depends on your role on the team. Okay, so if you're a developer, you can draw a work card, you can play a work card. Those 2 actions, each one is 1 action. Okay, you can draw 2 cards, or you can draw 1 and play 1.
Oh, okay.
And you can also estimate something, which count as an action. The main reason I made these rules like this is you need to think about how your day is going to be. So is it more important for you to draw cards, to play cards, or to estimate things? And also estimate, it takes an action, because you spend time doing this.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So you must spend an action. The product owner, she has other kinds of actions. So she can discover a feature. So I can just add a new feature, a new PBI to my product backlog. I can discover the business value of a feature. So I can just draw a card and put on a feature on my product backlog. Or I can just, I can reprioritize my backlog.
Ah, okay.
That's what she does. And also, if I have some feedback, I can get her feedback from my customer. These are the actions of the product owner. One thing that I try to replicate with the product owner role is that she has 2 actions like everyone else, right? And one question that always come up during my training session is, can the product owner do something else? Can the product owner be the same person as the Scrum Master? I don't think the product owner has enough work to, be a full-time job. And that's the kind of thing that always happens during the training sessions. And no, she has a lot of work to do. And that's one question that I like to ask people that are playing the game. It's like, how do you feel about it? Can the product owner take just 1 action per day? What do you think would happen in the game?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing I try to conceive, right? And the last role is the Scrum Master role. So the Scrum Master can't work directly on any feature, but he can draw work cards, okay? He can give work cards to people, and he can change cards between development members. And the last one is whenever an impediment come up, the Scrum Master is the only one who can remove the impediment, okay? So sometimes when the Scrum Master played his 2 actions by the beginning of the day, and an impediment comes up, no one works anymore. But the master just did his work and he left.
Yes.
So the day is done. And that's also another situation that it often happens during the sessions.
Okay.
Those are the rules. They are kind of loose on purpose.
Okay.
Sometimes I like to tamper with the deck. So if I know that this team has a particular situation that I'd like to replicate, then they had like many doubts on a subject. So I can just change the order of the cards. I'm not being completely honest with that, but
Yeah.
That's funny.
the objective of the game is provoke discussion, right? So yeah, it's nice to have a facilitator during the session, so you can take a look in a more impartial way and do this kind of thing.
Yeah, I was wondering about the game, whether or not you'd use it more for new teams or existing teams as kind of even a coaching tool. And it sounds like you just answered that. You could use it for both, right? You could.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, for new teams, it's really mind-blowing because it's the way that I come up to simulate real-life stuff. So these guys, if they never saw that, they're gonna see a lot of things in a short span of time.
Mm-hmm.
But for more experienced teams, it's a great way to raise some situations that are happening and nobody's talking about.
Right.
So during one session, we had like this Scrum Master, and by the third day, I guess, he was like, "Okay, I want this feature. I need this feature done by tomorrow. You shouldn't be working on that. You should be working on this." And I was like, "Oh, come on. So you're a Scrum Master?
Yeah.
Are you sure of it?" The guy was actually ashamed, and he thought, "Okay, in my real life, I am a Scrum Master, and now I can see that this game really got me angry. I want this feature, but I shouldn't be doing that. You're right."
That's so cool. That's cool. So you mentioned that teams sometimes hate you. As it teams people who are experienced and that you're uncovering things that make them hate you, or is it something else? What is it that makes them hate you about the game?
The orange cards.
Yeah.
The orange cards, because sometimes they're almost delivering a feature, so the plan is going well, and all of a sudden someone draws a bug, or maybe they draw some, which is a very interesting card. It's the technical debt. So the technical debt card, what it does is it's a permanent card. It stays on the table, and it raises the level of work you need to do by 2 of every feature. So if it's a 21, now it's a 23, unless you remove the technical debt. And removing the technical debt involves working on the technical debt. So the team now, for example, this technical debt, it has a size of 10. So if someone has a work card like this, he must choose between trying to eliminate the technical debt or working on the feature.
Right.
Doesn't work on the feature, nothing's going to be delivered, right?
Right.
But if he keeps working on the feature and forgets about the technical debt, every feature is going to cost way more than they should.
That's brilliant. That is such a great way to illustrate that.
Yeah, and that's when the dialogue with the product owner comes up, the negotiating, and when the Scrum Master needs to really intervene and try to facilitate a way for them to come to a conclusion of a better way to deliver thing. And what I like about it, there's no obvious answer, like in real life, right? Sometimes you gotta eliminate the technical debt. I'd like to say that Scrumchkin is not a game. It's more like a framework. So you have a set of tools, and you can create your own rules to simulate whatever you're trying to fix, or to make people think about ways to fix it. Okay.
Yeah.
So these rules I created to play the game is mostly for my training sessions with beginners. But with a few tweaks, you can manage to achieve whatever the team is needing to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my line of thought when I was creating it. Create something really that could embrace all kind of problems you see in a Scrum team.
So what's the name of the game again? Is it Scrumchkin? What is it?
Yeah, okay, that's a nice question. So Scrumchkin, and here's why. Because I don't have the board game with me, but Scrum for obvious reason, right?
Mhm.
And the end, it's based on a game called Munchkin.
Munchkin. Okay.
It's a really nice game. Especially, I'd like to say that Scrumchkin is really nice if you have a lot of friends and you want to have fewer friends.
Okay.
Well said.
You're going to lose some friends, and that's it.
Wow, so Scrumchkin, we got to make sure we say that a few more times so that our viewers know exactly what we're talking about. And thank you for holding the card up, man. That is so cool. Availability of the game. Where are we with that? Because boy, I want to use this right away on my teams.
What I'm planning to do is like I'm going to release the digital version for free, and if you like to contribute, you can give whatever you can or whatever you think it's worth.
Yeah.
There's lots of opportunity for it. So, I mean, I'm going to take the time now to kind of reach out to our audience. If you have interest in the game, comment in the comment section, but you could reach out to Mario on, how would you like them to reach out to you, man? What's your preferred method if you got people reaching out to you?
Twitter or LinkedIn. I think I might leave you my contacts. There's in the site, the scrunchkin.com site, there's also a link to my personal website. Perfect. And there you can find my Twitter, my LinkedIn.
Mario, thank you so much for joining us. I think we learned quite a bit about the game, and there's probably more that we can learn. Those of you who are subscribed to the channel, check out his website that we posted on there. We'll have it on the comment section or in the comment section below. And if you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for? RJ, we're still waiting. You ready for that banjo? It's coming soon, right?
It has to be soon. We'll pass what we agreed upon.
Oh, really? Oh, Jesus. Okay, I gotta learn a song. Okay, yeah, I'll be ready.
So in June, everybody, we will have some banjo playing in our next episode.
Ooh, he just put a date on that thing.
Oh, man.
You did not even ask for permission to put a date on that thing. Woo.
It'll be the end of June because I'm going to be,
Mario, thank you again for joining us, and I hope that the three of us, can help you out in any way, shape, or form. And those of you who are subscribed to our channel, who have watched this video, if you're interested in helping out, reach out to Mario. We'll have his contact information on the comment section below.
Outstanding. Scrumchkin.com. Scrumchkin.com.
That's it. It was amazing talking to you guys. Thank you a lot. Thank you a lot for inviting me, Charles. It's been an amazing time talking.